Hi everyone, it's Silver17 here, Learning Cruise like usual. I do not own this picture, and this is not paid video, basically. Well, pictures, and I made the thumbnail. So, it's been a while since I've done this. I basically ended it after the defeat of Neji, so let's just get right into it, because I need to do some stuff. And I basically, yeah. Anyways, so last time, basically, Neji was defeated by just a Spartan kick. Technically, that Spartan kick, it would have actually hurt a lot. But when he also hit the, rock, basically the wall of the chunin exams in the arena, basically, yeah, Neji knocked out. So, we have Naruto just walking back up, basically, to the people that are in the fighting booth, are just looking at him. He goes, "What?" Shikamaru's like, troublesome blonde. Basically, Naruto rolls his eyes, basically. Ino's just looking at him like, do you think that was a little bit much? He goes, no, actually, that's my weakest kick. Which that kind of shocks her, along with basically some other people. So, she goes like, weakest? He goes like, yeah. I mean, to be honest, he was being a pain in the neck. Which, I mean, she cannot lie, so she nods. So, yeah, I mean, basically, the next fight, Sasuke Uchiha versus Gaara. Same thing happens in canon. He does not show up. So they prolonged it, which Naruto says favoritism. Rolls his eyes, which basically, Ino's like, it's not favoritism, Sasuke is, she basically can't think of nothing. He's like, she just sees Naruto just grinning. He's like, "Are you stop being a fangirl?" Moment. She goes, "Shut it." Moment. So yeah. After that, I want to say everything else will go to canon. And when Sasuke arrives, you see, Sasuke has trained a lot more intensely because of Naruto's. Naruto changed all of a sudden. His change has affected Sasuke. So, yeah, he's faster than in canon, but the thing is, Naruto's actually able to see him. He goes, I wonder if I can actually move that fast if I basically saw from Kratos' memories with the boots of Hermes. I wonder if I can basically move faster than him. Which, Kratos will just be like, okay, I'm actually kind of curious too. I know I move faster than normal demigods, but still. What would he be like with them? Which, he looks over at Kurama just shrugs. So, Sasuke's doing his thing, his fighting, and then Chidori. Give me a minute. Alright, never mind. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. So, as I was saying, basically Sasuke uses Chidori, and yeah, like I said, everything went to canon. Just Sasuke's a little bit faster and a little bit stronger. Because of Naruto, so what else is basically to change? The only fact is, basically, when Naruto basically would see the feather, he would basically use the shield. Basically guard himself from this basically genjutsu. And then right when basically there basically was appearance of basically enemy forces, Naruto went into basically warrior mode. Which Kratos is like, Naruto, remember, keep your eyes focused. Do not basically do not let your enemies get attack on you from behind. Always be aware of surroundings. And he goes like, yes, sir. So, basically, the enemies are attacking basically the Jonin and Chunin. they basically see Naruto's awake. They try to go after him, and one of the chunin basically tries to go towards to protect Naruto, but Naruto legit just like kind of waits till they get farther, brings out the blades of chaos and just starts swinging them like Kratos would, and basically doing the combo. And well, one of them basically he just throws it to them, hitting them, pulling them to him, grabs basically the body and throws it at one of the other basically enemy ninjas, which that kind of surprised, the chunin as Naruto lands, and he's literally looking like it's basically nothing, but on the inside, he's basically cringing at it. He's like, did I really have to do that? And why so brutally? Which Kratos says that probably is a side effect of me. Which he goes, from your memories I could see. So, basically, Naruto's fighting off basically the ninjas that are trying to kill his, other fellow ninjas. Basically, he's not letting anyone get near them, and, he does take out his bow and starts shooting. He basically then would kind of basically get attacked from behind, and he basically takes out the dagger of basically that Artemis left him, and, two of them, and basically he puts in chakra in them, and they basically stand cutting right through basically the kunai, killing the guy. Which Naruto basically is like thinking to himself, okay, I gotta really thank Artemis for this. This is really sharp. So yeah, basically one of them basically, and they're just like, this is just a kid. How is he taking us out so easily? Maybe it's the weapons, or he's using some type of weird chakra. Isn't he supposed to be asleep? He's just a genin, basically trying to figure out what's going on. Hold up. Sorry, I had to cough. So basically, Kakashi makes his way to Naruto. He's like, Naruto, how are you? He goes like, there's no time to tell you, Kakashi. Give me some orders. He goes, right. And so he even knows that basically, Gaara and his siblings are gone, and Sasuke is gone. He just sighs and be like, go after Sasuke. Get a team and basically try to go after him, alright? He just nods. So, if he basically looks at basically each person, and then he basically sees Shikamaru just sleeping, he goes over and he goes, Shika, wake up. I know you're awake. Which nothing happens, and he goes, I didn't want to do this. He fucking basically Spartan kicks the wall, cracking it, which Shikamaru wakes up immediately, which he looks at Naruto. He was like, did you just... He goes, yes, I cracked the wall. He goes, what do you need? He goes like, well, first off, we have a mission. Kakashi gave it to us. He goes, which then he gets all serious, but he just also sigh. He goes like, what a drag. Thought I could sleep during this. Which he just sighs and be like, Shika, maybe you should actually put in some effort and get something done instead of complain about it. So that way you actually have more time, basically, to do things. Which he literally looks at Naruto and be like, why I didn't think of that? He goes, laziness. He just nods. But he says, I'm not changing my ways, though. He goes like, you don't have to. Just put a lot more effort into it, then you'll be done sooner. He just says, are we having this conversation as Naruto basically throws a blade of chaos to his left as it kills another, basically, ninja that was a sound. He basically killed at least 3 sand ninjas already, which Naruto was like, yes. He pulls out, the blade comes right back to him. He was like, weird blades. He goes, get used to it. So yeah, they basically also get Shino, and, I do not think Sakura is needed, but she is awake. So she'll just tag along anyways, just to basically save Sasuke. In which he just sighs and be like, because she's like, I'm coming with you. He's like, no. She goes, yes, no, yes. You cannot change my mind. He just says basically, insufferable. basically insufferable girl, basically, which she's like, hey, you're also basically the same age. It was like, at least I'm mature, then you're basically still a fangirl. She goes, shut it, Naruto. And yeah, that's how she kept on, well, basically joining. So while they're basically going through the forest, everything happened in Konoha exactly the same way as it would in canon in anime. But in the forest, it's basically exactly the same thing. It's just the fact is, Naruto doesn't arrive late, and Sakura gets Sasuke out of the way. That's the only difference. In which Sasuke's like, let go of me! Basically. Which he puts away Sakura, but Sakura's like, Sasuke, when you get you back to safety, he's like, I can do this, I can defeat him! He's my opponent! Which Naruto just sighs and basically, literally is only looking at Gaara. He was like, so you are letting the beast inside you take over. How disappointing. Which Gaara's like, what? Disappointing? He goes, yes, you're letting it control you. And I thought I was gonna have a decent fight. Oh well. When Shikaku's pissed along Gaara, he goes, decent fight? We are going to kill you and prove our resistance. Hold up. Alright, so as Naruto basically just looking at Gaara and be like, is that all? In which, basically, Gaara's like, what? Prove your resistance. That is all? Just, which Gaara goes like, yes! Why? It was, I guess we are the same in that way. To have something to prove our resistance. To actually help us. To cope with what we have become. Which, that kind of confuses, basically, Gaara. Sasuke and Sakura are basically already gone a bit, so it's like just them. He basically goes like, what do you mean? He goes, well, we are basically of the same cloth, as you can say. As in all of a sudden, Naruto closes his eyes, and it basically opens them again, which basically the Kiwi's chakra was flowing through him, which basically, well, Gaara sees, and Shikaku's basically screaming out, kill him! Kill him! Give me his blood! Which Gaara's basically holding onto his head with his free hand, which he goes, Mother wants your blood. He goes, I am the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox. Which, just, Gaara stops, he goes, and then basically gets this crazy look on his face, like, we are the same, if I kill you, that would basically solidify as Naruto just disappears, and then Gaara was looking at it, and he basically feels something hits his face, and sends him flying. Basically the part of his face that sand is covering, which he gets sent flying to a tree, which he sees as just Naruto. He goes, enough talk, action. And then basically, multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. Which Gaara just sees about 1,000 clones, like in canon. Which he's like, which even basically Shikaku's like, oh no. Because for some weird reason, the sand on Gaara's face was gone. Like, all of it was gone. And there was like a little bit of there was like a red mark just shown where Naruto's fist was. That was it. Because the sand took most of the impact, which Naruto wanted it to. Because it's like fully gone. So, basically that's like a sign to Shikaku and Gaara. Yeah, Naruto ain't messing around. So, yeah, Gaara gets the Naruto Uzumaki 2K barrage. God of War style. Strength. And then Shikaku comes out. So, Naruto thinks, okay. He's panicking. He's like, what do I use? Okay, I have to stop Fox summons. I don't want to summon a Kurama. Not Kurama, the Ninetales. I basically have the Blades of K. I have the Blaze of Chaos and Ares Flame. I am an idiot. So, basically, he also says I also have Fire Style Jutsu. So basically, Shikaku, basically, while Naruto's panicking, Gaara's like, Sand Coffin! As in, sand's basically appearing around Naruto, as, well, Naruto literally just gets the Blades of Chaos and slams them down into the sand as it just turns into glass, and Naruto breaks out of it. He goes like, really? So, yeah. Gaara's like, what? He goes, yeah, let's do this thing. As he basically just jumps from from the branch he was on to the top of a tree, and jump from tree to tree all the way into Shikaku, basically. Well, Gaara's Shikaku form really fast. So what he does is very simple. When he gets close, he throws a Blaze of Chaos, or at least one of them, into basically the body of Shikaku. Basically turn that into glass, and Naruto pulls himself to basically Gaara. And it does break when he pulls himself. So he also had to jump. And when he basically gets close, he has out both of the blades, like he's gonna hit basically something, pointing towards the wall. As when it basically hits Shikaku, he basically stabs him inside of the basically Shikaku's body, basically the leg, and he climbs up it. Basically, there's tendrils coming at him in all directions, and Naruto just flings a Blaze of Chaos around, climbing up the wall, climbing up the body, until he gets into the middle of it. He goes like, now then, face the Blades of Chaos! As he basically starts heating up the blades. Yeah, from the center of the body, the fire is so hot, I do believe it will actually send it through the whole entire thing of basically Shikaku. He basically, right when he was doing that, the whole time, Naruto was climbing up it, climbing up Shikaku's body, Gaara went into possum mode, and Shikaku took over. The fact is that Shikaku took over. He recently felt his whole entire body turn to glass right when he came out. So it's like, oh, come on! I just got out here! As, yeah, glass mode activated. Sort of. It's only the head that's not glass. So Naruto basically does use chakra and climb up to the glass, and then, basically Shikaku is trying to make the glass turn back into sand, but it's really hard. So basically Naruto does get up to Gaara, and then, Shikaku is like, oh, no, you don't! Using the sand that's basically where holding Gaara is, goes around Naruto, as Naruto legit just starts using the flames from the Chaos Blades to cover his body a little bit, as he basically slowly turns to glass. He just breaks out of it, which Shikaku's like, you've gotta be kidding me. I just got out. Why? Which Naruto just says, okay, shut it, you big giant Tanuki. Which is like, you little brat, I'm going to, as Naruto literally just smacks Gaara in the face. Not full force, but still a good enough punch to wake him up. So, yeah, Shikaku goes back to the seal, and, basically Gaara wakes up, and basically there technically would see the glass start breaking underneath the weight of it, and, boom. Basically Gaara lands on a tree branch, Naruto lands on a tree branch, while Gaara's basically huffing and puffing. Naruto's looking at him perfectly fine. He was like... But Naruto literally just tells him this. There's no point to this anymore. You should end this and leave. Which is like, you'll let me leave? I'm an enemy ninja. I want to kill everyone in the village. I want to destroy it. Why would you let me leave? He goes, which Naruto just looks at him and goes like, that loneliness. I know it all too well. Which basically Gaara's like, as Naruto activates Taka no Jutsu. So he goes, you've been alone like me ever since you were a kid. No one to play with, to talk to, no friends, nothing. Everyone telling their kids to stay away from you because you're a danger or a monster. The kids believe in them and their parents. The solitude, the emptiness that you had felt. All of that. But you can make some friends like I did. Make precious people that you can rely on. People that you can basically trust. As Carl was like, there is no one. It's only me and Mother. As Naruto said, no, it's basically no. He was like, no, your brother and sister. In which Gaara's just trying to stay up on the branch, but he's like, slightly tilting to the side a little bit, but then keeps himself up. He's like, no, they're afraid of me. I cannot be trusted. Only Mother can be trusted. As Naruto just looks at him, he goes like, what happens if everything you were told was wrong? Maybe they can be trusted. Maybe it's just the fact is, you don't want to trust anyone, so you don't get hurt. Which Gaara's eyes widen, basically losing focus and slipping. Basically, Naruto's about to jump down, so basically Tamari catches Gaara. Just, Gaara, are you alright? Basically looking at him, basically Kakuro's like, yeah, are you hurt? Anything wrong? Which his basically eyes wide and Shaki goes like, you're worried about me. He was like, basically they both say it exactly at the same time. He goes, of course we are. You're our brother. Basically. As he's actually in shock, Naruto basically jumps down to to ground level like they are, and he goes, see? They care for you. Which Tamari looks at him. Kankuro basically gets out of kunai, as Tamari is literally holding Gaara closer to her. As he basically, Kankuro says, I'm not gonna let you get near us. Which Naruto just chuckles, which that kind of shocks him. He goes, are you making fun of me? He goes, no. I actually was letting Gaara go. Which, that would shock both of them, which Naruto goes like, ask why? He goes, which Naruto just goes this, that's personal. As he just starts walking away. Which Tamari's basically looking at Gaara. Gaara says, let's go. As they nod, and basically, she basically puts Gaara on his feet, while Kankuro basically puts an arm around his neck, which is Gaara's, along with Tamari, as they jump away. Basically, Gaara would, while they're jumping a few, couple minutes away, he goes, Tamari, Kankuro, I'm sorry. Which basically, they both say it's no problem. And, yeah. So, Naruto's just walking back, and, he will see Sakura's basically trying to keep Sasuke from going back into the fight. By the way, he does it. He wouldn't really have his will they get there in time? No, yeah. They get basically before not before Gaara, before Sasuke even has the curse mark. Which, basically, Naruto's looking at Sasuke, and he goes like, you alright? He goes like, where's Gaara? He goes, it is done. He goes, what? It's done? He goes, the fight is ending. Well, the fight has ended. And basically, he's looking in the direction of Konoha, as he felt like somebody he knew just died, just disappeared. Which Naruto's eyes basically narrow, but then eyes wide. He goes, no. No, 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 no. As all of a sudden, Naruto just starts running back to Konoha. Which that kind of surprises, Sasuke and Sakura, because they saw the look on Naruto's basically confusion, serious, focus, then in shock, then in horror. which basically, yeah, then to panic, basically, which they're just confused. They're basically rushing towards Konoha back with Naruto. Naruto's legit, like, hightailing out there, basically. So, they're trying to keep up, but they're having a hard time. And what happens is very simple. Naruto gets back to Konoha, and knowing everyone else feels like, no, but please be wrong. Please be wrong. Which basically, Kratos is like, oh no. So, yeah, Naruto basically gets to where Hiruzen is. Basically. And when he does get to, he basically sees everyone basically surrounding just in a circle. The Anbu, Jiraiya, as Naruto basically is like walking over, he goes, Pervy Sage, which basically Jiraiya looks at Naruto, basically with Jiraiya and goes, oh no. So he was like, what's going on? But Naruto's actually stopped being in warrior mode and legit Jiraiya says, Naruto, you shouldn't be here. But he was like, come on, Pervy Sage. Come on. Don't tell me. Which Jiraiya is basically looking at Naruto, says, Naruto, go back home. He goes, and Naruto's eyes widen. He basically is about to rush over. Jiraiya catches him. Naruto's literally, pulling Jiraiya, which he's like, damn, this kid's strong. Basically, the Anbu see Naruto. He says, move out of my way! Basically, as Jiraiya, when he has to let go because, yeah, something's happening. So, when they move out of his way, he sees Hiruzen on the ground smiling. Which Naruto's eyes widen. He goes, Gigi! He runs over, basically pulls Gigi, basically, off the ground. Well, basically his Gigi, basically Hiruzen off the ground. And, well, he goes, come on, Gigi, wake up. You don't have to play. Well, yeah, basically it's kind of hard to, see. Basically, Naruto can't really basically come to terms with it, as basically no one's saying anything. Kratos cannot say anything because he does not know what's gonna happen. So, after a few minutes of shaking, Hiruzen, more basically ninjas come and Kakashi's there, arrived. He basically looks at, including Sakura and Sasuke, which they just see Naruto say, come on, Gigi! Having tears rolling down his face, which, just seeing Naruto actually crying hurts. Kakashi, Sakura can see the pain in Naruto's face. As Sasuke basically, never saw Naruto cry to begin with. It's actually even surprised, including anyone that basically knew Naruto basically never cried. So, after a few minutes, basically him just realizing Hiruzen's dead, legit basically starts actually crying, basically, and then, the famous moment for basically any character basically to go down the path where Kratos goes, revenge. So, basically after basically crying and such, he just, basically said through sobs and tears, like, who did this? He basically looks over at basically Jiraiya and Anbu was like, who did this? Basically, they actually can see him full of rage, which they actually are kind of like, freaking out mentally, because basically, it's like, they basically think of the Nine Tails, power is going to seep in, which Kratos basically already knows what's going to happen. So, yeah, so basically just to try to basically calm down Naruto, basically, Anbu basically says, Orochimaru did it! He killed basically the Hokage! Which, basically, Naruto's eyes wide, he goes, Orochimaru! So he basically, puts down Hiruzen, getting up, clenching his fist, as basically, looks like flames are coming off, basically, of Naruto's, fist, as Kratos basically just says, "Boy, calm yourself," which Naruto cannot hear. He basically looks at the direction of the basically Anbu. He goes, "Which way?" They're confused. He goes like, and basically the flames are coming from his fist onto his arm. Basically, he goes, "Which way did Orochimaru go? Tell me now!" Basically, as they backed up because they basically see the rage in Naruto's eyes, and there's like no QB. Which Jiraiya thinking, "Oh no, including Kakashi." So, basically, out of fear, Amu just points in a direction, and Naruto is basically about to jump towards him, or towards that direction, which Jiraiya puts a hand on him. Basically, goes, "Naruto, it's not, Hiruzen wouldn't have wanted this. He wouldn't want you to go after Orochimaru for revenge." Which Naruto basically looks at her, basically Jiraiya, who clenched fists. He goes like, "I know, but I have to make him pay in some way or form." Which he goes, "I know how much Hiruzen felt, was meant to you. He meant a lot to." As then all of a sudden he basically gets Jiraiya off his shoulder. He goes like, and he looks at him. He goes like, "You do not know how much he meant to me. You do not know nothing of me," basically. Which Jiraiya basically will look at him, and he goes like, "I don't know nothing of, basically of you." Because he really doesn't. Even though he's godfather, Jiraiya knew nothing of him. Well, he doesn't. He only knows some of the information basically Hiruzen tells him. But he goes like, "But the way you're acting, it seemed like it seems like basically Hiruzen meant a lot to you." He was like, which I think he would just say this. He was one of the few people in this village to actually give a damn about me. Which, basically every basically basically ninja there that's basically chunin and jonin are looking at Naruto, but then looks away, which basically Jiraiya just looks at him and sounded like, "I know." He was like, "Then don't you patronize me on basically how much he meant to me. That snake's gonna pay one way or another." As basically the flames are basically dying down, as he just jumps over into the direction where Orochimaru was going. Basically, Jiraiya just sighs and be like, "This is bad. This is really bad." Basically, like, everyone that was like, younger, so that was younger was actually surprised. I want to say this. Naruto basically moving at top speed would kind of catch up with Orochimaru's group because he would have to take a break because his arms basically are hurting or something. Well, hurting. So he basically gonna need to try and find a way how to keep just by moving them from the jumping. So he's trying to find a way how to keep them from moving and such. And the thing is basically keeping his arms basically bended and basically some like medical or something gauze or whatever. What you put around your neck and basically puts for a cloth and basically have his arms in it. Yeah, that thing. As basically because of that, it did take a while. So Naruto does get to them, to the Sound Ninja, and basically to the Sound Ninja 4 and learn with Orochimaru, which basically Orochimaru just says, "Damn Hiruzen, damn him to hell." Basically, he basically took my arms. I cannot longer use ninjutsu. I can't even move them. Curse him. As Naruto just hearing that, is actually grinning. He goes like, he thinks, "You really are a stubborn old man, huh, Gigi?" Which then he finally hears Kratos like, "Naruto, Which basically goes like, Kratos? He was like, you calm down, finally. He almost went to, he almost basically became me there for a minute. Because basically he realized basically what basically Kratos meant. He literally was about to, go and basically kill Orochimaru. But because here about Orochimaru, he got his basically just desserts, calmed him down a lot. But his fury and rage towards Orochimaru, yeah, that ain't going. He goes, I'm sorry, he goes, it's fine, Naruto. This happens. Haruzen Sarutobi was close to you. And you care for him a lot. It hurts. But going after someone that's stronger than you would not basically solve it. Would not basically bring him back. Besides, would he really want you to go after Orochimaru? Which, he just sides me like, no. But what happens next is he basically gets her from one of the basically sound ninjas. He goes, so, Lord Orochimaru, what shall we do? He goes, we'll go back to this sound village. We'll try to basically figure a way how to get my arms back before it becomes too permanent. And when we do, I am going to basically want to destroy Konoha even more, but I'll need to get a vessel. We'll have to bring back Sasuke and Chiha. Hopefully, though, I won't have to do that. I do not want to basically bring him back while he's so young. Which basically the Sound Ninja nods, but hold up. Alright, so basically, as I was saying, as after raising Naruto about Sasuke, gonna be used as his next vessel, he doesn't want to do it. They look at Tayuya, which he's like, what? Why you guys look at me like that? Which Orochimaru was like, we need to leave at least one person here to basically make sure they don't come back and come for us. And besides, we already have someone here. Isn't that right? Naruto Uzumaki. As Naruto's eyes basically does not, widen, he knew basically Orochimaru would have basically sensed him. So he does land. He goes like, figure as much as a snake like you could have found me so easily. He goes, flattery does not basically is needed. It's quite easy to find, basically to find someone like you in basically a tree. So Naruto basically is going for the Blades of Chaos. He goes, I'm going to make sure I kill you and rip out your own heart. Which basically that basically just him saying it. Yeah, some of the actually all the Sound Ninja 4 are actually wondering if this kid's actually okay. Because he literally said it with uncontrollable rage, but he said it with calm. Well, he said it like it was calm. So Orochimaru like, oh, are you mad that I killed Haruzen? That old fool had it coming. He denied me the place of Hokage. Which Naruto just says, you're a madman who basically experimented on humans. Do you really think someone like you could become Hokage? You would sacrifice your own subordinates so easily. Which he basically just grins and goes, yes, that is true. That I actually come to understanding. But still, to deny me the place of Hokage is an insult I cannot stand. Toyuya, you're strong enough to handle him. As basically, she's like, wait, what? Seriously? Him? A pipsqueak like him, basically? She basically goes, yes, if you do not kill him, I would kill you and him. We'll meet you back at basically the Sound Ninja base. Sound Ninja village. As if they just leave. Which Naruto's like, leave. Like, Koro's not with you. It's with him. She's like, sorry, kid. Boss's orders. Basically, she gets out her flute and such. And he basically still has the whole entire protection, chakra bear around him. Which she basically playing her flute, which nothing happens. She was like, huh, are you scared? He was like, of what? She was, wait, what? What do you mean? He was like, was I supposed to basically do something? She goes like, you're supposed to be under a genjutsu. He was like, oh. He tilted his head to his side. Really? Well, I mean, you are from the Sound Village, so it makes some sense. She was like, wait, how did you... He was, personality changed all of a sudden. Warrior mode, then normal mode. He just shrugs, be like, I get used to it. So, Kratos like, boy, focus. So yeah, all of a sudden, Naruto, focus. So, Tsuyo's like, alright then, so she summons out her, basically, minions and such, which Naruto's like, this will be, as all of a sudden, he hears arrows. He's like thinking, oh crap! He jumps out basically the way behind a tree as arrows hidden basically, Tsuyo's basically little soldiers, well, basically minions, that she basically summons and controls. I think there was about 3 of them. Killing all 3 or just 2 of them. And she's like, what the hell? Moment. As Naruto looks from behind the tree, as he was like, wait, is it Artemis? No, she wouldn't come to my rescue. As then all of a sudden Artemis appears with a few other hunters. He goes, our party, well, our hunters, great. So, she basically goes like, sorry to crash the party, but I was interested to see what those creatures could do. As Naruto comes out of the tree, he goes like, you could have given me a little bit of a warning, Artemis. As basically he puts away the blades of chaos. She goes, where's the fun in that? And he goes like, he rolls his eyes, which just, her hunters are like, huh? But wait, they see the blades of chaos and they kind of realize they have their arrows out, which Naruto just summons a bow. Basically already ready to fire, which basically Tsuyo's like, wait, are you guys my allies? They basically also pull some, the bows at her. Well, basically there's like at least 5 of them. So like 4, 1, point at Tsuyo, 4 at Naruto. Which she's like, oh, come on. Which Naruto just kind of just sighs and stops the bow. He's like, can you basically get your hunters from killing me, Artemis? Well, stop them. She goes, sure. By the way, how do you like my gift? He was like, it works nicely. Thank you. She goes, no problem. Which basically, I just like wanted like, Lady Artemis, you gave this man a gift? She goes, yes. He is the next god of war. Which, they look at Naruto, he was like, yeah, Blades of Chaos. Bob's a big hint. They're like, no. No. Wait, we thought you just found them randomly. But she goes like, no, why would I find the Blades of Chaos which Kratos took into another realm? Be with me. Which they just like, they basically already like about to fire, which Naruto like immediately just appears and right behind them. When they do fire, they basically destroy the tree, which that kind of surprises basically Tsuyuya. And then he just sighs and be like, multi-shot clone jutsu. 50 shot clones. Which Naruto is actually right next to Yuya, basically like, well, this day just got way more worse for us. She's like, she looks at Naruto and then she looks back at where he was and such, and it's just like, how did it was like, the title of God of War, the next one is not a title, just for, just to say it. She basically eyes wide and she backs away from him. He's like, you're a god, I guess, demigod, but whatever. He just sighs and be like, I lost the trail of that snake, so great. Well, you're coming with me back to the village. She's like, why would I? As he literally just takes out the blades of chaos, a blade of chaos, throws it, controls it, wrapped around Tayuya, and basically just holds the chain. You like, I'm not in the mood. You're lucky I don't kill you by ripping out your own head, or ripping off your own head. She basically just goes pale, which Artemis is like, oh, don't be it, just don't do that. What Kratos did. He goes, don't. One of the important people, the very few people I had in my life, just died. I am not in the mood, Artemis. Which, I mean, her eyes widen, and yeah, she's like, who? He goes, Hiruzen Saratobi, and just he starts walking away with Tsuyo following him. Artemis basically eyes widen and basically even gasp, basically, which I think the hunter, one of them, would basically ask, Lady Artemis, why are you gasping basically for him? Which she just says, we're going back home. We're going back basically to camp. She basically like, wait, what? Why? But she goes, I mean, well, basically, Artemis would just say this. I am basically going to to make sure the next God of War is fine. Basically, I mean, another one would be like, why? He goes, I mean, she legit just looks at them and be like, are you questioning me? They just not know, and yeah, they just follow. They do wonder why, though. Cammy is, well, she can tell that, I think because she is basically their god, she basically can, like, tell what Naruto is truly feeling. Rage, hatred, all those basically emotions mixing with sadness, guilt. Basically, saying he could have been there, he should have stayed, he should have basically at least made a Shao clone or something, just to do anything, really, to prevent Hiruzen's death, and she basically is weeping for that. So Artemis does get her hunters back, and she's about to leave until her second command. Basically, I'm just gonna say it's just someone randomly like, Lady Artemis, where you going? And she goes, you already know where I'm going. She just sighs and be like, I do. But why are you going to visit this man? He goes, first off, he's a boy. He's only 13. And second off, he's the next God of War. She goes, but still, why are you basically going to visit him? What's so special about this boy to begin with? Even though he is the next God of War, shouldn't you be trying to kill him after? She goes, I know. But I found some things out about him that I never thought a human child could have been through. Which you were like, it can't have been that bad, could it? I mean, what's so bad for him? She basically just sighs and basically like, you already know basically how some of you become a part of basically my hunt, correct? She nods and be like, now imagine everyone in a one place hates you, despises you, wants you dead, tries to kill you, ignores your resistance, keeps basically giving you rotten food but has the basically price it, up even higher than normally, basically sabotage your basically learning and just overall does whatever they can do just to ruin your life. And times that basically for 13 years. Which, that would actually kind of shot this second command. Hold up. So, basically, she's like, that has to be a lie, right? She goes, Artemis nods no, and he goes, and the only people that you had at that time were two basically friends in your class. Two people at a ramen stand. And basically a leader of a village. Who is the Hokage. Who is, you're basically like a grandfather to you. Who is basically one of the people you actually can consider a family member. and the person who basically died today. Which, yeah, even though basically, the second command doesn't really like, any men, and basically she was wondering why Artemis was, basically worried for him, yeah, after she basically said it like that, she understands. She just nods and Artemis leaves. So, while this was happening, it took a while for Artemis to get back to her camp. Naruto basically got back to Konoha with basically Tayuya. In which, yeah, they say about to take her away, but he's like, no. Which, like, huh? He was like, no. You all would try to basically put her through something way worse than what she needs. I can get the information out of her easily. Which, basically, this Anbu is like, we can take her to the T. As Naruto literally just ignores them and walks to T&I department. Sort of. He basically asks for directions from the Anbu. They just tell him, yeah, Naruto's not caring. So, yeah, council meeting? Well, sort of, not really. No one's really having a meeting. Yet they're just making preparations for it, which is just Jiraiya. And he basically already told the daimyo, which, yeah, the daimyo basically is going to be rushing over there. So, what happens is, Naruto takes Tayuya to the T&I department, aka where Ibiki and Unko are, and basically, like, they just see Naruto walking over basically to a desk where Ibiki's at. Basically, Naruto's like, where's the empty room? Which he was like, huh? Wait, aren't you? As he looks up, he sees Naruto with, well, tied up to you with chains. Which he's like, are you delirious? He goes, no. Where is a room? He's like, over there, it's empty. So, Naruto basically brings her into a room, into the room, which basically Ibiki's actually kind of wondering what the heck. So there's like basically a see-through, on his end, but not on their end. So basically, yeah, Ibiki's, basically gets someone to call Anko just for this. So yeah, so Naruto basically has to, throws her into a chair, and she goes like, "Thanks for basically, putting me in a chair so nicely." He goes, "I do not care for your sarcasm at the moment." She's basically like, "Yeah, I can tell." She goes like, "You're gonna tell me everything you know about Orochimaru." She's like, "Or what you're going to do." Naruto legit just looks at her like, "Do not test me right now." So she's basically like, she literally is like, "Aw, what?" Is a little basically pipsqueak is going to, as Naruto just stumps his foot, cracking the ground. Which Tayu is like looking at it and sees the cracks and legit looks at him. Because, I say it again, tell me what you know. Basically, he's right at the table. And then basically, leaning against the table with his hands as Tayu basically, looking at him, he was like, or what? Like, seriously. You're only getting, and you're not basically torture department. As Naruto legit takes out the blades of Hades. Which, Kratos goes, "Boy, you are not ready for those yet." So he just puts one right to Tayu's shoulder and starts pulling the blades of Hades. Tayuya can basically see something coming out. He goes, "What the?" He goes, "This is your soul. I bet basically it's very painful for you at the moment." But she is starting to she is gripping her teeth. He goes like, "So tell me everything you know, or I will make this as slow and painful as possible, and then stop, and do the process over again until I get what I want." Tell me where is the Sound Village. So, for Tayuya, with her soul being ripped out, it felt like 1,000 knives. It was hard. It was just basically, it was difficult enough just to even stay conscious for that. So, she says, "You wouldn't dare." As he goes, "Try me." So yeah, she can see there is no basically weakness. There is like no bluffing. There is just pure going to do it and don't give a crap moment. Which Ibuki's like, huh? Who knew the kid was good at torture? Which Anko's like, I don't think that was even torture. I think he was just legit, just gonna kill her if he didn't get his answers. Which Ibuki just nods and yeah, Tayuya basically just curses away, but then spills out everything she knows. He goes, "Thank you." He grabs her head, smacks on the table, knocking her out. He basically just walks towards the door and open it, and then he sees basically Uncle Ibuki. He goes like, "Keep what you heard, keep what you saw here, basically, besides the whole entire information she gave us, to yourselves." He walks past them. Which, Anko's like, would anyone really believe us what he did? Basically, just, you know, Ibiki just nods no. So yeah, the funeral goes exactly the same. Naruto is there, and, well, just exactly the same way everything goes in canon for that. Naruto does go to Konohamaru and basically puts his hand on his shoulder, like basically Haruka. And basically, because Konohamaru was basically hugging Haruka, but then when basically Konohamaru sees Naruto, he can see basically a look of pure, basically sadness, like, sorrow and guilt. Whereas basically Konohamaru basically just hugs Naruto, and yeah, Naruto hugs back, which basically he hears Konohamaru go say, "It's not your fault," basically a moment, which, yeah. I mean, I don't think Konohamaru ever would blame Naruto for this, so basically, after that happens and everyone's leaving and such, because it's over, we do go over to the council meeting, which I do just say basically the daimyo will be like, "Alright, here's the thing, I just want suggestions." Which, basically, people are kind of trying to think that Danzo nominates himself for Hokage, which the daimyo was like, saying to himself, "Nope." And then Jiraiya was like, "How's Tsunade?" Which basically, you know, the daimyo was actually kind of curious and such, and then he gives his reasoning. He's like, "That could work. If you can find her, that is." Which basically Jiraiya was like, "I can find her. I just basically need a couple of... Well, I just need to basically have one person with me. Besides myself." Which, basically, the daimyo raises up an eyebrow. And she goes like, "Alright. Who is it?" He goes, "Naruto Uzumaki." Which the daimyo was looking at and facing Jiraiya, and then it has a light chuckle. Which, I mean, that kind of confused everyone. He was like, "Alright, just go find Tsunade. Bring Naruto Uzumaki with you." Which, yeah, Jiraiya nods. So, we would basically have Naruto at his apartment to try and figure out what to do. And try to come up with basically how to get stronger so he can basically track down Orochimaru and end that snake's basically life. So while he's basically thinking this, we would totally have then all of a sudden someone coming through Naruto's window. Which Naruto's just seeing it, he just basically sees Artemis. He goes, "Artemis?" She basically goes like, "Hey, are you doing fine?" He goes like, "No, I'm not." She goes like, "I see. Um, do you mind if I sit next to you? He was like, I'm laying down on my bed. You can only sit basically on the edge. She's like, right. So she sits down on the edge, basically not even laying down. She's like, it hurts a lot, doesn't it? He goes, yeah, it does. She goes, I'm so sorry, Naruto. He goes, it's not like you really know that much, or do you? She goes, I only know what everyone else knows. You're really close to him and you cared for him a lot. And he treated you like he's your own grandfather. In which Naruto just nods and such, and basically we hear Kim basically like, Naruto, you alright? Which basically Artemis is just kind of just sighing and be like, do you want to talk to her? He's like, hold up, Artemis. He goes, yeah, I'm fine. And what about me, Kim? And she was like, alright, if you ever feel like you need to talk to me, I'm always basically willing to. He goes, thanks. She says, no problem. So, yeah, Jiraiya basically would have actually said, oh, yeah, beforehand, here's the thing. We basically got information from about Orochimaru, and because of Naruto. And basically we have at least 2 sound ninjas, which basically everyone was kind of confused until Jiraiya goes over to the daimyo and actually explains it, which he was like, ah, I see. So you want her to basically be protected by Naruto and basically everything, or basically take them with. He was like, yeah, take them with. I mean, that'd be a good thing for them. Besides, we get them out of the village. And but I will put some seals on, well, at least the girl named Tayuya. Which basically Daimyo did not, which Danza doesn't know what's going on, but he actually approves for him basically to take as many people as he want, along with Naruto. So yeah. So that's why we have basically Jiraiya basically sees the window open. He's like, hey kid. Which Naruto just sees Jiraiya. Which Naruto literally gives him basically a serious look and be like, no. Which, yeah, just Jiraiya's like, noted. I need you basically for a mission. Get ready for basically maybe a month or so. So pack up basically today and and also take some rest. But we're leaving in the next 2 days. Which Naruto just nods. And yeah, Jiraiya basically leaves. So she goes like, who's that? He goes like, that's Jiraiya at the Sonin. Sorry. So he goes like, he's really not that. He's really impressive when he's not trying to write his, well, hobby. He goes, right? He goes, he's basically, how should I say this? A pervy sage. Which I twitches. And he basically was like, he wrote this Icha Icha Paradise book. Which, she's like looking at him, he's like, really? He just nods. She's like, I see. Alright. Anyways, let's talk. Which she decides to be like, alright. So yeah, they talk for at least a couple of hours. Basically, Artemis leaves. Kim basically comes up to the door and knocks again. Naruto answered it. She was like, dinner? He just sighs and be like, sorry about that. Lost track of time. She just says, it's fine. Come on. So basically, yeah, they go and eat. And, that's where I'm gonna leave it off, everyone. I do have to basically fall asleep, and I do need to do something later. Basically, aka when I wake up. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this what if. Have a nice day, night, wherever you want to bye.